In a world where political tensions are high and international relations are at a breaking point, a historic meeting took place in Alaska, a land often symbolizing both geopolitical isolation and global influence. The unlikely duo, US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Their meeting, set against the backdrop of the Alaskan wilderness, was one of the most anticipated diplomatic encounters of the decade. The stakes couldn't have been higher. The war in Ukraine rages on as the global community watches closely, waiting for any sign of change or resolution. The United States, under President Trump, has taken a firm stance against Russia's aggression, sending military aid to Ukraine and imposing crippling sanctions. Meanwhile, Russia continues its military campaign with no sign of retreat. On one side of the table, Donald Trump, a leader known for his unpredictable foreign policy and unorthodox diplomacy. On the other side, Vladimir Putin, a leader who has held a firm grip on power for over 2 decades. Both men, despite their differences, share a history of strong and controversial stances on global matters. The moment of their handshake, laden with significance, marked not only a meeting of 2 powerful nations, but also a pivotal moment in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The 2 leaders, each with their own agendas, sat down to discuss what many would call an impossible peace. Trump, with his business-driven approach, is known for advocating negotiations and even suggesting that diplomacy could bring an end to the war faster than sanctions or military interventions. As the meeting unfolded, Trump's rhetoric was straightforward. He emphasized the need for a direct dialogue between Moscow and Washington, claiming that his leadership could have prevented the war in the first place. Putin, on the other hand, reiterated Russia's stance. The invasion was a special military operation to protect Russian interests and security. For him, the West's interference in Ukraine is the real source of conflict. While no breakthrough agreements were reached, the meeting signaled that both leaders were open to dialogue. Trump's approach, however, raised questions. Was he trying to play the role of a mediator, or was he attempting to bolster his image as a peacekeeper on the world stage? Putin's intentions remained clear: a continued push for Russia's territorial claims despite international pressure. The talks may not have led to any immediate shifts in policy, but they highlighted a critical point. In geopolitics, conversations matter. With the war in Ukraine continuing to dominate headlines and tensions between the US and Russia at an all-time high, every diplomatic encounter carries weight. As the world watches, the question remains: can talks between 2 of the most powerful leaders in the world end the bloodshed? Or will the war in Ukraine continue to shape the future of Europe, Russia, and beyond? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the dialogue has begun.